House will afford you an opportunity to learn about the benefits of the dual credit program at College of DuPage and the support services available to students at all campus locations. College of DuPage is committed to the collaboration with our high school dual credit partners and the successful completion of dual credit courses. On the agenda tonight, you will hear from our dual credit team, admissions and outreach, the library, student life, and have any questions answered by our supportive colleagues. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our manager of dual credit, Lisa Hagley, and our dual credit specialist, Daisy Flores, to get the program started. You are welcome to put any questions in the chat to be answered if you are not able to stay for the entire program, which we hope you are. And we appreciate you taking time with us this evening. Have a wonderful evening tonight and enjoy our program. Lisa?
All right, thank you so much, Tamara. Hi, everyone. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us this evening. As Tamara mentioned, we have some additional resources from some departments that will be presenting tonight as well. But to get us started, I am going to tell you a little bit about dual credit, what it is, along with my colleague, Daisy Flores. So I'd like to get started first by telling you a story about a dual credit student. This student is Juan Gallegos, and he was a student who was able to capitalize on the opportunity that was available to him as a dual credit student at his high school. So as a senior at Willowbrook High School, he had the opportunity to take dual credit classes, and he took a culinary course as well as an accounting course before graduating and then enrolling at COD. At COD, he earned his Associate in Applied Science degree in Culinary Arts, and he currently works as a supervisor at Urban Belly in Chicago. Juan's ultimate goal is to be in upper management running a restaurant. And he credits the dual credit coursework in giving him this head start in his program, saving him both time and money. So you might be wondering, how does dual credit work and what exactly is dual credit? On the next slide, we have a video, just about a minute, that I'd like to share with you. It's much more animated description of dual credit than I'm able to give, but here it is.
So, you're eager to get your college degree and into your career as quickly as possible. Or maybe you just want to get your gen eds out of the way. But there's a problem. You're still in high school. That's where College of DuPage's dual credit program comes in. This is an opportunity for qualified high school students to enroll in college-level courses, earning both high school and college credits. I know! Here's how it works. You go to your high school. Yes, the same one you've been going to. You attend a class during your regular school hours, but it's taught by a high school teacher that's qualified as a dual credit instructor at College of DuPage. That's it. And what you get? Reduced college costs with tuition-free courses. Boom. Engaging college curriculum and coursework that you can't get in your normal high school classroom. Boom. Enhanced abilities and skills to do college-level work, meaning confidence for success. And most importantly, closer to your college degree. Contact the Office of Dual Credit and Dual Enrollment or your high school counselor for a list of eligible courses.
All right, well, I hope that explains a little bit more about dual credits, but in the next slide, I will go into a little bit more detail as well as explain some of the differences between some of the terminology that's used, as well as a comparison between dual credit and advanced placement, which are some additional options that students have at their high school. All right. So the first major difference between the three different categories, so we have dual credit, we have dual enrollment, and those two terms get used interchangeably quite often, but there are some differences between the two, and then versus advanced placement. So dual credit is where, as in the video, a student earns both high school credit and college credit at the same time. And in dual enrollment, the student earns college credit, by taking the college course, but high school is not necessarily awarded. And then in advanced placement, the student earns high school credit and they're eligible for college credit only if they take and pass the AP exam. And that also depends on that institution, what score that exam needs to be placed at. Another difference is that for dual credit, since the student is taking the college course, the college credit is awarded upon college completion, and that credit can be transferred to other institutions. It will depend on that institution, what they will accept that credit as, but the student will start an official college transcript and be able to transfer those credits to a different institution if they decide not to continue with COD. For dual enrollment, it's the same thing. The student will earn the college credit upon the course completion since they are taking the college course. And the credit also can be transferred as they'll also have that on their official transcript. For advanced placement, the college credit will be determined by that institution of higher education and then only awarded upon matriculation. So they'll have to attend that institution in order to get that college credit. For dual credit, in terms of who's teaching the course, that course is taught by a high school teacher who is also approved as a dual credit instructor by College of DuPage. So that high school teacher also has the same qualifications as an adjunct faculty at the campus would have. For dual enrollment, the course is taught by COD faculty, and it can be taught on the high school campus or the COD campus, but it's taught by one of our faculty at the college. And then for advanced placement, the AP course is taught by the high school teacher. Back. For cost-wise, I think the biggest bang for your buck would be dual credit. It is free to the students to take that through their high school. And dual enrollment, there is a reduced college tuition that is part of the dual enrollment. And then for advanced placement, there is an AP exam cost that's $94 if the student is looking to take the exam to be eligible for the college credit. And then in terms of the resources that are available to students for dual credit, since the student is taking the college course, they are eligible for the COD resources in addition to the high school resources that are available to them. For dual enrollment, since the student is a current high school student as well as a college student, again, they'll have access to both sets of resources. And for advanced placement, the student will be eligible for the high school resources by taking the AP course at the high school. So just to reiterate, some of the benefits for dual credit students is that they have access to the COD resources. And that includes the library, tutoring, COD events, which our presenters in some of the next presentations will touch upon as well. And also, according to research, dual credit students are more likely to attend and graduate from college, seeing themselves as a college student by taking that college course and just having that increased confidence to continue. And then also being exposed to college while they're in high school, they're already college ready as well once they are ready to move on and to matriculate into an institution of higher education. And just wanted to reiterate this very important point about dual credit is that opportunity for students to earn high school and college credit at the same time. The dual credit course is the COD course, and they'll establish that official college transcript once they complete that college course with us. And then next, I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Daisy Flores, who will share with us how a student can participate in dual credit.
Yes, thank you, Lisa. So if a student is interested in going into a dual credit course, the first thing that they'd want to do is contact their high school and either with their academic advisor, see if there is a dual credit course that is available for them in the semester that they would be going into their courses, making their schedule. You can also check our College of DuPage dual credit website to see if the course you're interested in is offered at your high school. Every high school will have different courses depending on who is there to teach those classes. Some of the classes do require prerequisites. So depending on the class you're interested in, you may have to meet those prerequisites before registering for those classes. Then they will complete an intake form at the time of registration. This will be done in your classroom once you're already in the course. So your high school teacher will help you do the registration, and you can also view your registration on your account on My Access. So we'll give you some information on My Access. You can check your schedule there and see if your name is under your course. So My Access will give students and staff using it more information on the college. They're able to view their schedules. Dual credit students will be able to request their college transcript there. They'll be able to request their transcripts through the system using their COD ID number. If they do not have their ID number, they can request that through us, but we do mail those student ID numbers to each of the students throughout their semester. But again, if you misplace that letter that we mail out to you, you can definitely email us, call us, and we can get that ID number for you so you can set up your account. There are a couple things that you need to keep in mind. When you are taking a dual credit class, your class will be on your official transcript. So it is very important to take it seriously, to make sure you know what our deadlines are, what your requirements are, and it's important to talk to your instructor to see how you're doing in these classes. Once you register, you are putting your name on a college transcript. So we have some deadlines on there. For you to not have any kind of effect on your transcript, you do have to drop a class if you're not doing well by the midterm date. Currently, it is on the 19th of October, but it really depends on each, if you're not a student right now, we'll change the date, but we'll give that information to your instructor, to your high school instructor. So they'll give you that date, and then the instructor will communicate with us if you want to be dropped from the course. Now, if you don't drop by the midterm date, you still have a chance to withdraw from the course. Just keep in mind that if you're withdrawing from the course, you will get a W on your transcript, which could potentially affect your financial aid. So it is important to keep in mind or to talk to your instructor to see how you're doing. But if you are not doing well after the midterm date, it is better to get a W on your transcript than get a failing grade on your transcript. So that is something that we do suggest, is make sure you're always communicating with your instructor, taking advantage of tutoring, tutoring at your high school, tutoring at our college, to make sure that you are passing these classes. Just so you know, all this will go through our dual credit department. So the students are not contacting us to do drops or withdrawals. This will go through your instructor, and the instructor will contact our registration department. We work with Chris Garay in registration to do all those registrations and the drops. I do have some contact information here as well. Lisa's and myself, we also use the dual credit program email. Multiple people use this email so we can get to you guys faster. We do suggest you also follow our Instagram. We post about our programs and events constantly on that page. So that is another useful resource for you. So do we have any questions for dual credit right now? I don't see any. Okay. So next on our agenda, we have Real Omaria from admissions. Real is a high school admissions rep and an expert on College of DuPage.
Thank you, Daisy and Lisa. I am excited to be here, and thank you for inviting admissions and myself to talk a little bit about the college and the benefits of attending COD after proceeding with the dual credit program. So I do have appointments available for students on campus by phone and on Zoom. So if you would like more questions to be answered that we weren't able to answer tonight, feel free to contact me. I'll also share my information at the end of the presentation. So I always like to begin with some of the benefits that are definitely worth highlighting for starting at a community college like COD. First off, the degrees and certificates are plentiful. There are lots of different varying programs for students who are, essentially decided on what major and career they want to go to, or even those students who are undecided. We have career and technical education programs and certificates, as well as more traditional bachelor's degree programs, that we transfer our students to. So a lot of students will find that they'll get their general education courses completed at a much lower cost with the affordability that a community college can provide, and transfer to different universities in the state and also all across the country. And despite our larger enrollment size of over 20,000 students, to closer to 25,000 every year, our student to faculty ratio is really small. So we have so many wonderful resources that will allow students to be successful as a student at COD, to allow them to reach their goals career-wise and education-wise. So first off, talking a little bit about the degrees. At the community college, we offer the associate's degrees, and we also offer certificates. So the biggest difference between the Associate of Arts, Associate of Sciences, and Associate of Engineering Sciences these are the degrees that will be made up of the general education courses as the majority. Students who have some interest in already completed, like if they want to know what they want to do, if they want to become an accountant, or if they want to become a teacher or a doctor, these associate's degrees will allow them to fulfill a lot of the general education courses that will be needed for their bachelor's programming. Many subjects in the dual credit program can also account for some of the general education courses. For our students that are a bit more career and technical focused, the Associate of Applied Science degree is also a 2-year degree that combines a certificate with some general education courses. The biggest difference between the Associate of Applied Science and the more traditional associate's degrees is that the general education courses will be a lot less. And again, the certificate will require some sort of sequence of classes that will allow students to get a license that might be mandated by the state, or something that is needed in that particular profession. For example, some popular career and technical programs that we have here at COD do include automotive program, the welding program, culinary arts, and paralegal. So there are also routes for students to also just obtain their certificate, which again can lead them directly into their particular career. COD also has a nursing and health science program. Our nursing and health science programs are limited enrollment programs. So students who want to go into nursing, surgical tech, anesthesia tech, dental hygiene can find that COD can be a great place for them to get the requirements in order to go into that field. We do mention that these are limited enrollment programs, so students directly out of high school will still need at least a year's worth of general education courses and meet all of the requirements before they will be able to be accepted into some of these health science programs. So something definitely to consider. I know CNA is something that is a popular dual credit class that some students take, especially if they're interested in health sciences. COD does a lot of transferring for our students. We have always had great relationships with our colleges in the state and also outside of the state, but a couple of resources that we recommend students to, familiarize themselves with includes the website itransfer.org, which talks about the Illinois Articulation Initiative Act. Essentially, these are classes that are offered at the community colleges as well as public and private schools all throughout the state of Illinois. You'll see how these classes are equal to one another but just by looking at a course catalog for COD or the Illinois school that you are looking to attend. Many course descriptions will have it right in the title that it's an IAI designated course, meaning that the class is an exact match that you could take a COD to transfer onto a four-year university. Now, if you are considering going out to, out of state, Transferology is a similar idea, but it is a database for a nationwide network of schools. A lot of universities do actually use this as their official handbook. So you can see the types of classes that can be taken at COD. A lot of them are general education courses. The only difference is that the titles of these classes are going to be different, but the substance will be the same. We also have people to assist you on campus. Our counselors, our advisors, our navigators are here to assist students while they are planning out their schedules. There are also campus reps. We always will have students having the opportunities to meet with representatives from different universities that they are interested in going into. These representatives will have sometimes monthly meetings. They'll offer sessions, even virtually. When we went into COVID, they are here to act as a resource to make sure students are on the right track to transfer and getting their application in. To just talk a bit about how transferable a lot of our classes are to different universities, including highly selective universities and programs, I always like to give a mention of our agreement with University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. The Engineering Pathways program is a specific program that is open for high school seniors to apply. If they are interested in engineering and attending the Granger College of Engineering at Urbana, this is a wonderful opportunity for students to be accepted into engineering pathways, and by meeting the requirements of completing the Associate of Engineering Science classes and meeting the GPA, they'll get guaranteed admission as a transfer student at Urbana-Champaign. So, a lot of our classes will transfer and also allow for transfer to some programs that are more selective than others. Now, I also want to mention early admissions. This is a great time to include how to get started with COD while you are still in high school. The big difference between early admission and dual credit and dual enrollment is that early admission students, while they are yet without a high school diploma or being the age of 18 years or older, which is the minimum admission requirements for COD, early admission students will be able to apply as a general student and meet with their admission representative and take classes alongside COD students. So these classes can be here on COD's campus. They will be available also online, and they do have to pay the COD tuition instead of the reduced cost with the dual credit program. But this is a way for students to take some classes, maybe a bit more advanced, that aren't offered at their high school, or a jump start on some of their general education courses. Early admission students also will not be eligible for some scholarships, but again, this is a great way to take some classes while you're still in high school, maybe outside of the high school day or even during the summer. Early admissions is a popular program for students that are looking to maybe fill their summer schedule up with taking some classes to get them started with college. Now, to mention the affordability, again, it's a great benefit for students to attend a community college. COD, we are a taxpayer-based institution. Our current tuition is $138 a credit hour. So if you were attending COD on a full-time basis, you are looking at tuition to be close to $4,000 for the year. Now, you could even reduce the cost of those tuition with some scholarships. COD has scholarships for a variety of reasons, whether it is for your ethnicity, for your volunteerism, even our academics. We do have some popular academic scholarships that can even fund the whole 2 years of your education while completing your associate's degree with our Scholars Award. The Scholars Award is a academic achievement scholarship, which does have 3 tiers. And those tiers are for $1,000 for the Board of Trustees, $2,500 for the, actually $1,000 for the Dean Scholarship, $2,500 for the Board of Trustees, and our Presidential Scholars Award is full tuition for 2 years of attendance at College of DuPage. So while we have open enrollment for our application process, our scholarships do have deadlines. Many of our deadlines would fall in, will open up in January of a student's senior year. So if you are a dual credit student and finding yourself, a senior looking to, potentially go into College of DuPage, you want to make sure that you've completed your COD application to be eligible to apply for scholarships that open up in January of your senior year, with deadlines usually in March of your senior year. There are also payment plans available for students. So if you are looking to potentially pay for your tuition in smaller amounts, scholarships or financial aid once you do graduate from high school and you become eligible to apply, but don't use them, we do have payment plans that are available. Now, I know we have some wonderful representatives from different areas from our library talking, as well as our student life, but it's definitely worth mentioning that there are great resources for students to make sure that they will be able to continue on with their success at College of DuPage. Our Learning Commons is essentially our tutoring center. Our Learning Commons provides tutoring for students that with peer tutors, professional tutors, as well as instructors in the subjects of reading, writing, math, and speech. They actually will have office time spent with students to meet in those subjects on a walk-in basis. Our tutoring center is free for all of our students, including our dual credit students, and they are available 7 days a week. For students with an IEP or a 504 plan and are receiving accommodations during their time in high school, there are opportunities to receive accommodations during your time at College of DuPage by meeting with our Center for Access and Accommodations. You can learn a little bit more about the different accommodations that we provide. Many of the accommodations you do have to self-advocate, but some common ones that you can receive during your time at College of DuPage does include extended test time. You could have preferential seating for in-person classes, having your test read to you. So this is also a free service and also here to help students to be successful during their time at College of DuPage. Our Career Services Office is a wonderful department that is open not just to our students, but even to our community. They do help with wonderful workshops throughout the year for resume writing skills. They'll even do mock interviews. Internships is also where you would be able to sign up through our Career Services Office. They have career assessment tests that are offered, just a great resource for students that might not be sure what it takes for a degree or an education to get into certain careers. The internships also provide students an opportunity to maybe get some experience before actually committing to a specific major. Our counseling and advising are also for students, not just to help plan out their classes and lay out their academic plan. They are available for different workshops to help them with their study skills. They're also there for students to just to talk if you're having a hard time maybe processing the culture shock of high school to college. These COVID times have been difficult. Our counseling and advising staff has been able to there and to help with some mental health counseling. And then transfer services. As I mentioned, we do have a number of four-year university representatives that do come on campus to help students learn a little bit more about the whole academic transfer and application process. So they will have fairs, virtual information sessions, and also take appointments for students to meet while they're here at COD. if you are wanting to maybe, take some time to learn a little bit more about the classes, you're enjoying your dual credit and want to take more classes and learn the campus, we do offer Wednesday tours. They are limited in size. You can find them on the COD admissions website. Again, I am available with phone, Zoom, and in-person appointments. So if you have questions, how COD can help you reach your academic goals or your career goals, you could always reach out to me. There are other admission representatives that work in the high schools. They are not here today, but Stephanie Lokensol, as well as Elizabeth Gomez de la Casa. We are traveling, so we are possibly in your high school. So keep an eye out. We work closely with your school counselors. We'll help with application days and also some information sessions. So thank you.
Thank you
Any
so much.
questions?
I don't see any questions right now, maybe at the end, but thank you so much, Riel. Next, we have Christine from our library. Christine is a reference librarian and is here to give you some information on the resources that our dual credit students can use.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I am Christine Kickles. I am one of 10 librarians at the College of DuPage, and I work primarily with the business students and the business faculty, culinary arts, paralegal areas at the college. And I'm also proud to say that I'm a parent of a student, of a daughter that went through the program. She was a dual enrolled student, did the CNA program, and now has a job at Christ Hospital as she begins her career at St. Xavier University. So we are big fans of this program. But tonight I'm here about the library, a huge fan of that as well. Let me advance my slide here. And I'd like to take a few minutes just to kind of show you what your students, what your kids, what you all have availability as our District 502 residents. So whether or not you are a student with us or not, you have access to the COD library. If you've not been on campus before, we are located in the Student Resource Center. And we're open. We're open 7 days a week, whether you are a student or not. The library itself is on the 2nd and 3rd floors of the Student Resource Center. If you have been to campus and been to the bookstore, we are right above it. We are a very large facility. In fact, our upper floor is as big as a football field. We have over 4 miles of shelving and over 250,000 items in our collection. So we are a very large college library that our district residents, our parents, our students can take full advantage of. We have seating for over 600. And like I said, we're open 7 days a week. So one of the things that's nice to say to our dual enrolled students is that you can start coming and using us. You are a student with us. You can use our group study rooms. You can use our study spaces, and you can get acclimated to what a college campus feels like. And especially right now, when things are just a little bit more quiet on campus, this is a great chance for them to come at night, come on the weekends, and start to get the feel of what a college library might be like for them as they move through their academic career. We do have over 100 computers. Anyone in the community can come in and sit down and use them for as long as they like. You are not required to sign in with any kind of license at this point. And the entire facility is wireless as well. So our students do bring many devices and they can get onto the network and use our resources. So very large, very busy place. And segmented into different areas. There's quiet areas, there's collaborative zones, and then there's areas for getting assistance as well. One of the most popular areas right now is our group study rooms, or our study rooms in general. We have about 17 of them. This is an example of one of the more popular ones. Our students are using these right now by themselves, and they're using them as groups. So whether they're taking an online class or they're working on a joint presentation, these are kinds of spaces that are reserved exclusively for our students. And once again, a dual career or dual enrolled student would also be considered, this is something that they could go ahead and book and take advantage of at night and on the weekends when they're outside of high school time. Our facility is free flowing. Students can group together. Right now we are all wearing masks. So this picture's a little bit older than what we're normally used to having an experience with, but there's lots of different places that students can find their spot. As a college library, I think it's good for them to start to understand what's a little bit different than their public library or what their high school library is presenting them with. So one of the things that is very popular, especially with our STEM students, is our anatomy models. So when we have students that are prepping or thinking about or taking a science course, these are the other kinds of things that a college library is carrying that our students can use in-house. So they might be surprised to find out we have Legos because of our physics students, and like in this case, anatomy models. And then for our creative students and our students that are preparing presentations, even now, we are home to a media lab. So this is a space with staff and dedicated equipment. There are recording suites in there, and there's equipment that can be checked out. So everything from cameras and green screens and assistance with how to get up and running with that. These are also spaces, like I said, that our students are, these are reserved just for student use at this time. So they might have exposure to this in their high school libraries, or they may not, but this is definitely something that they can take advantage of as part of the program. So I did mention that we're open, but I will tell you right now that our busiest spot really is through our website. As a dual enrolled student, they do have access to everything that's available to them through the website. So our website is up and running 24/7. Things to know is that obviously they can check for titles, they can check for research right from our website. But it's also going to be able to connect them with all of the databases. So no matter if they're taking a STEM course, an English course, an automotive technology course, we have the resources and research guides put together by the librarians for those areas to support those courses. We are part of the development of those courses from the very beginning. And so we ensure that we have the resources that the faculty need for teaching those courses, as well as any required research or career development that might be required in order to be successful with that. And once again, all of that is right from the website. In terms of getting help, because we do know that students are busy, they're in high school during the day, they might have jobs and sports and all that. We are connecting with everybody online. So basically 7 days a week, students and our district residents are reaching out to us through our chat and our research appointment business. So just to reemphasize what we have for dual credit right now, and as I said, we are open and they're welcome to come in. They already have access. So if they are a dual credit student at this point, they already have been assigned a network ID and password. So that's what they're using to access Blackboard and MyAccess. That works for everything in the library as well. So sometimes they ask about library cards. We will tell them that their network ID and password is giving them access at this point. They have full access to all of the research databases. And like I said, we've got lineups. We've got a whole research guide for every particular course and field of study. So that's all available to them. We have built and have been building even pre-COVID an e-media collection, ebooks, audio, streaming videos. Once again, it's all in support of the academic programs that they're in. So depending on what it is that they're researching, we might have a different kind of research tool or resource that they might use. And then, like I said, we have resource guides and research guides for many of the courses. If they need or want to experience what college study life is like, we have study rooms that are available to them. They can take advantage of any kind of research appointments that are currently open. Those are 30-minute slots. They are set up with a librarian that is prepared to work with them. And like I said, dual credit students are students. And so that's how we treat them. And we don't even ask them if they're dual credit. You're a student, you're a student. And then, like I said, live chat is available 7 days a week up until 10 o'clock at night. So we're getting a lot of business even later in the evenings. And those kinds of questions are search strategy. How do I get started? What do you have? Do you have this book? How do I cite something? It's really quick, usually quick questions. And then last but not least, our students are creative, and depending on what it is they're taking, we just want to emphasize that the Media Lab is open to them. They can take advantage of the equipment that is there. If they do come to campus, we have large scanners. We've got equipment there for creating, really awesome presentations. So these are the kinds of spaces that we've built. We're very excited to work with those students. We do maintain a social media presence. So if you're just kind of curious what's happening with us, feel free to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at COD Library. So thank you very much for the time. I look forward to see you all in the library, either online or in person.
Thank you so much, Christine. Up next, we have a representative from Student Life, Jacqueline. Jacqueline will give us some more information on what Student Life is and what they have to offer.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. I will tell you a little bit about Student Life. So it is our mission to build community within our college and to educate students for a life of leadership through lifelong leadership journeys here. So how do we do that? Oh, I am just messing up my PowerPoint slide left and right. How do we do it? We start by trying to build community through hosting a series of events here, both on campus and now virtual. So this was a learning curve for everyone, what we had last year. So now we are working with making sure we have events accessible both in person and virtually. As someone who would be involved in dual credit, you would have access to these events if they do take place during your time at the high school. You can definitely join us. We have also some offered in the evenings. We've brought trivia this past year, and that was a lot of fun, as well as like some virtual escape rooms. All great things to get acquainted with each other and have kind of like the social piece of being a college student incorporated into life here at COD. Historically, in the past, we've had chaparral days. These take place the 2 weeks at the beginning of the term in the fall. Every day for 2 weeks, we have free events and we have awesome opportunities for giveaways to get you some COD swag, to get you acquainted with other students here, and of course, showcasing some other departments on campus that will be able to give you a lot of resources here. We do Spirit Week, we do Relax Week, definitely new student orientation to get you even more acquainted with the departments here and give you just a feel for what college is like here at COD. We are hoping to expand our social media following, and we are hoping to do so by continuing to provide contests for giveaways and just allowing everyone to have access to all of our events. Our clubs. So we did have over 42 active clubs last year, and we're actually very proud of that because given the circumstances for the clubs to be able to remain active with being virtual was just a challenge for everyone, but we are thankful that we were able to help facilitate that transition. These clubs are related by various topics, interest areas, anything from your academic study to just social clubs in general. Sometimes you want to be involved when it relates to your major, but also you might want to be involved just for fun, just for something social away from the class itself. And if there is something that is missing here at COD and you would like to bring it to our students, we are the place to go to get your club started. We also help host various events and meetings for our clubs. We provide great leadership opportunities for our club officers and teams. So with that, that'll take us to leadership, which brings us right back to our clubs. Our clubs are, for the most part, student-led. The students will plan events, raise funds, and run meetings. We provide leadership trainings throughout the semester for both the club officer leaders and our advisors. We have some workshops readily available and some grants to further expand the clubs here on campus. Student Leadership Council is a great example of our leadership potential, and they have been heavily working this week and the upcoming one for National Voter Registration Week. That's what's going on now. Our Living Leadership program is a 2-phase program. It is self-paced. It is open to all students, and students work with our leadership coordinator, Dr. Stephanie Quirk. You select any documentaries, workshops, podcasts offered of our list of events and reflect on them to create your leadership portfolio. This definitely looks great on your resume, something you could definitely bring up in interviews in the future and even for future transfer applications as well. You get a certificate for completing phase 1 and a medal for completing phase 2. Our Orientation Leader program is a great way to build community within our campus. There's a group of around 50 to 60 students that are selected. It is an application-based program, and it is a $500 scholarship upon completion of the program. The training takes place over the summer, and it is a great way to become even more familiar with your time here at COD. And it's the orientation leaders that put on our new student orientation. It provides an opportunity for new students to connect with each other and our departments, and to get answers before you even get here on campus. Everyone gets a welcome pack. We have even extended that to our virtual new student orientation as well by shipping the packs home. All of our events are available on our Chap Life website. It's chaplife.cod.edu. This will allow you to see the most up-to-date list for our clubs, the advisor information, the contact information for officers, meeting times, events that we are hosting, and also the other departments here on campus are invited to post their events to Chap Life. And again, we are trying to keep building our social media base. And if you would like to follow us, we have Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook at COD Student Life. And of course, just the last shout out to our Chap Life website. Thank you. And I'll open the floor for any questions.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline. So I think right now we are open for questions. I do want to let you all know that we are going to be providing more resources on our dual credit website. You should be able to see that there in about a week. So definitely use our resources that we have provided there. Definitely reach out to us at the dual credit department. We can definitely guide you to the right department that you may need if you have questions about dual credit, or if you have questions on any other departments, maybe something that you didn't see here. I do know that Access and Accommodations has provided some information that will be on our resource page as well. But again, this time is for you guys to ask any questions. You can either, or you can type it up in the chat, and then we can help you guys out. And if you guys are shy, you can always email us, and we can answer your question there as well.
Yes, definitely. If there's any other questions that you think of in the meantime, please feel free to reach out to us. Otherwise, we do want to thank our presenters and our attendees for your time taking out of your evening to join us. And again, if there's anything that you need from us, feel free to reach out. We will be posting this recording as well as additional resources. And we hope to see you guys around campus soon. Right. Thank you all so much, and have a great night.
Thank you. Bye.